And now, let's go to our next presenter. Let's welcome Hospiria. They'll be represented today by Richard Bridger.
$170 billion. $170 billion. That is the size of the global short-term rental market. It is a huge market, and the vast majority of it sits either in Europe or right here in the United States. And it's a huge opportunity for anybody who manages property or real estate and has empty units or empty nights. Because you guys all know, if you've got empty nights, then you're either losing cost, losing money, or you're losing a client. But there's a problem. So many people in this sector actually aren't engaging with the global short-term rental market. They are missing out on that opportunity. And it's not just people who are actually already in the sector, like holiday home companies. It's if you've got apartments, hotels, residencies, multifamily units. The number of times I've spoken to someone who's got a multifamily unit, and they're like, yeah, it's going to take us about a year or so to lease this up. I'm like, what are you doing? You have so many empty units. You could be making money. You know, you got that website, youhadonejob.com. It's like, guys, get it filled. And that is where short-term rentals come in. But hey, you know, maybe I'm being a bit unfair. Because certainly if you're coming at it from the outside, short-term rentals, it can seem kind of intimidating. You've got to upload your properties, get onto new websites, tap your daily rates, get your bookings, check them in, handle guests, all of those things. And how do you do that? Well, you do it by doing tons of these tiny little bits of technology, and you're like daisy chaining them together, and you're just like, oh my God, there's got to be a better way. Well, there is. That's Hospiria. Ladies and gents, my name is Richard. I'm the founder of Hospiria. It's part of Under the Doormat Group. We are one of the leading short-term rental companies in the UK. We founded Hospiria because we knew how tough it was, and we wanted to earn more money from our own units more easily. And we do that by taking care of this entire universe from one place. And no other provider has that product suite like we do. But then we also take you to new places. It's not just a case of, you know, go on the same old platforms targeting leisure travelers. Yeah, you've got to get into way more platforms. You've got to get into corporate. It's longer stay, it's higher rates, you earn more income, and it's complementary travel cycles. You're going to earn so much more yield, actually, if you can access all of these different channels. Now, if you're actually already in the sector and you pretty much know how to do this, we've got a self-service platform. You can sign up, manage everything, pick your feature list, and you are off. But a lot of people in the sector say, yeah, I want to do this, but I'm not quite sure. And that's where our consulting service comes in. You get all of the platform, but actually, we take all of the heavy, burdensome management, take care of that for you, and just deliver you the booking so you've got better yield and income. Our sweet spot, actually, is around that 50-unit mark. Big enough to know that there's an opportunity, but you're still looking for a way to try and take it. We find a lot of them at conferences like this because you guys are looking for that next opportunity, but we do also pick up from small-scale property owners organically, and we're in advanced discussions with some multifamily providers in the UK. All sounds great, but does it actually work? Well, yeah, it does. We've sold more than $5 million in booking revenue across all of our partners. Some of our partners with relatively small unit portfolios have driven hundreds of thousands of dollars out of this. So if you want to take the same opportunity that we did for our units and our partners have done for theirs, you've got two routes. You can either email us, hello@hospiria.com, happy to chat through that strategy with you, or you can go right now and sign up at hospiria.com. Ladies and gents, my name's Richard. I founded Hospiria so I could earn more income from my units, and now I want to open it up so you have that opportunity too. Thank you.
Thank you, Richard. Amazing job. Questions? Who's going to be first?
Yes. So can you kind of give more detail? What exactly do you do in the process? Like what parts do you take on, and how much do you charge for it?
So it's a single technology that you just load your properties into, and that distributes it to all of the platforms. So the connections on all of the channels, receives all of the reservations, and takes all of the payments as well. So the only thing that the actual property owner has to do is welcome that guest. Yeah? In terms of charging, you have those two routes. If you want to do it yourself, you have a subscription model, and that works on a per active unit per month basis. So you can have some units up there, say 50. If some of them get occupied, you can reduce it to 40 and your costs automatically come down. You get use of all the technology platform, but you actually are doing the process yourself. It's self-service. Or that's where you've got the revenue share model, which is actually our team will do all that uploading for you. As long as you've got the photography and the details, we get it out there, manage the platforms, manage the revenue management, reservation management, and that's on a 5% revenue share basis.
So you're taking care of the leads, you're not taking care of the application, the lease, the turnover, everything else, just the marketing pieces of it.
All of the distribution, yeah, all of the actual finding guests and taking those empty nights with a live calendar and getting them booked up.
So short term, how is your platform different than the current platforms that are available to consumers today? And when you say short term, how short? Days, months?
Yep. Yeah, so on that second one, it can be as short as the owner wants it to be. Typically, it ranges from about 3 nights to 3 months, yeah? Effectively, that's why you get a lot of relocations, and it can actually be a great funnel if you're looking for longer stays as well, because someone's relocating, they want a place to be, and they're going to stay with you for 6 weeks, and they're like, you know what, actually, I love this place, I'm going to stay here and take out a long-term lease. That's actually something taken on by the realtor themselves.
So how does your company differ from those that are currently in market today?
Yeah, so you mentioned their B2C. This is not a B2C product, it's a B2B product, yeah? What we do is take the property and get it out to all of the B2C platforms, yeah? And far more than is commonly done. So much of the sector is basically, it's kind of like Airbnb Verbo, it's like you're kind of stuck over here in this little corner, and hotels have an absolute lock on corporate travel. And what we've done is crack that open so that one property can get out into all of these different distribution channels. But it's a B2B product.
So you're kind of like List Hub for Airbnb.
Pretty much, yeah.
So it strikes me that with the revenue model you might have some seasonality to it. Is that the case? And if so, how do you plan to manage the business accordingly?
So that's why getting corporate in as well as leisure is so valuable, because actually they're quite complementary. Yeah, so your traditional vacation seasons, your summers, your Christmases, perfect for A, occupancy, but B, actually charging like those really high compression nights because people are chasing after a limited inventory. But actually, the complementary sales cycle is corporate because they relocate January, February, March, September, October, November, when actually the leisure cycle's down. So you get far fewer empty nights, and you get far higher occupancy because as one's going up, the other's down, and then as that one goes down, the other one comes up. So you can actually model match far better.
How do the business relationships with Airbnb and the others work between you and them?
I mean, effectively, we've got very good relationships with all of those end parties for 2 reasons. Number one, the primary thing they want is inventory, and we bring to market inventory that otherwise wouldn't be there. Yeah, the number of people who are like, I want to get into this market, I don't know how. Well, we bring them inventory, so that's great. Number two, actually those platforms love to work with professional providers like us because it's so much more efficient. They know it's so much more professional. Everything from the standards, the accreditation, the quality, ensuring there's no payment fraud, all of those things. So actually, it's win-win. They want as much inventory on there, but they also value us as a professional partner.
Amazing. So we're out of time. I, myself, I'm a sucker for an accent. I don't know about you guys. So thank you, Richard.
Thank you very much.